Thinking of buying a property? Who is on your real estate team and who do you need? Coming up. Hi, this is Kai with the Wong team, helping you better understand everything you need to know about New York City real estate. Today I have the pleasure of introducing you to Dorian Lam, the principal at Cornerstone Land Abstract. How are you doing today?
I'm well. Thank you, Kai, for having me today.
Thank you for being here. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am the principal of Cornerstone Land Abstract, and one of the services we provide are closing services. And we help people get from the contract signing to the keys being handed as seamlessly as possible.
Great, and that's actually why I brought you here today. One of the conversations is for a first-time buyer, they don't know who they actually need on their side to help them without the transaction. And I'm sure with your experience too, having a really good team together is really important.
100%. It's really, really integral to having a smooth and seamless transaction. Some of the experience that we've had, pieces that are typically part of the team are number one, first and foremost, and not an intentional plug-in for Kai, but it's true, is the realtor and having a really good one. And the difference is having one that is consultative and that's an advisor as opposed to somebody just showing you listings, right?
Yeah, 30 years ago, the real estate agent's job is a gatekeeper. We keep all the information. If you needed anything, you could just, you have to go through a broker, essentially. But now, for free flow of information online, you don't need that. And that's actually not what their job should be anyway. The purpose of the real estate broker, I like to say it's like a coach. You're trying to make sure all the team players are there at the closing table, and also making sure the whole transaction goes smoothly for the buyer. A lot of buyers, they don't get that. They think that it's just, I could just look for a property and I don't need a broker. But I think they really need to understand what their purpose and what do they serve.
Absolutely, somebody to help them game plan through the entire process.
Obviously, thank you for the plug, real estate broker. The second one I normally recommend the client to after they speak with me and I get a better understanding of what they're looking for is a lender. So can you speak about in terms of how the lender comes into play for the whole team?
Yeah, it's very important to engage with the lender early on because the last thing you want to happen is to find out that the lender either can't qualify you for that particular property, or maybe that lender doesn't have the products and services that suit that particular client, such as if they were a foreigner or if they don't have enough assets, so on and so forth. I'm sure you've seen similar.
Yeah, I definitely did. A lot of times, even before we go out and look at a property, after they give me the breakdown in terms of what they're looking for, I have them speak with the lender first. Because nothing's worse than taking a long time to find a property to find out that financially it doesn't work for them. So we have them speak with the lenders. We actually recommend them speaking to a few different lenders, seeing who's a good fit and what's the best options available for them.
Right, and we see it firsthand as well. Being at the finish line at a closing, we have seen situations in which the lender decides that they're not moving forward, and now you got to start all over.
So yeah, that's very important for the lender. Who's the next player on the team?
I would say a really important player on the team is the attorney for sure.
I agree. Attorney is very essential because some attorneys are deal makers, some are deal breakers. So we really want to work with someone that's collaborative in terms of working with the other players on the team as well and trying to make sure that the buyer is getting what they're looking for.
Right, along with an attorney that's very responsive to the transaction and treats it in the manner that it should be. It's a very big purchase in anyone's life, and they want to know that it's being handled in the proper manner.
A lot of the first-time home buyers, they really need a lot of hand-holding. So you definitely want an experienced attorney that knows how to walk a buyer through the process and make them feel comfortable through it, and making sure that they know what to look out for. And then obviously the last but most important member is the title company. The title actually kind of wraps and gets everything together. So I would say their position is more like the quarterback. Would you agree?
Yeah, I wouldn't say we're the most important, but thank you for that. The way I often look at ourselves is we're getting the baton from you, which is you are doing the heavy lifting in the front and we are literally closing the deal. We are coordinating with an attorney on both sides, on buyer and seller, sometimes with a lender as well. And we're making sure that all the items are being cleared and that the transaction itself is cleared to close. We put the closing date in the calendar and we actually send a closer there to make sure that everything's being handled properly. And then lastly, we file the actual documents onto public record to finalize the entire transaction. So yeah, in a way, we do quarterback the end of it, and it's the reason why we're so integral as a nucleus to the closing.
Yeah, well, without you guys giving the final okay, we can't get to the closing table, so that's very important. But thank you so much for being here. It's important for the buyer to understand who they actually need, put that team together before they even go out to look at any property. So let's kind of recap. Who are the integral people on the team?
So we have a realtor, we have a lender, the attorney, and then a title company.
Perfect. Yeah, those are the definitely 4 cornerstone people that the buyer should speak with and get familiar with. And another thing is speaking to these professionals even before the transaction happens. A lot of buyers, they don't really think about that. They say, when I need them, I'll come up to them. So it's good to have all this conversation even before they're ready to go.
So yes, you should be proactive. You should engage with the experts early on and not in a reactive manner later on. It only pays, it speeds up the transaction, it saves you money, and at the end of the day, it ensures that the closing goes as seamlessly as possible.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for sharing these tips with us today.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Dorian and his team put together a closing checklist as well, just for you to get more familiarized in terms of what to expect and are needed at the closing. So if you're interested in that, click on the link below to download it for free. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, consider subscribing. On this channel, we share with you buying and selling tips, market updates, and neighborhood guides. So if you have any questions you want us to cover in a future video, please leave in the comment below. Until next video, see you soon. Bye.